Okay, let's see. So the week after, we have no news on Monday, then we have 8:30, high impact Tuesday, we have NFP on Wednesday, which is weird because it's not supposed to be on Wednesday, but US government shutdown, okay, sure, whatever. We have high impact 8:30, and then we have CPI on Friday. So that's definitely something to keep in mind for this week. All of a sudden we have a ton of news. Okay, I mean, we can look at the weekly candle as well, of course. We had this big range candle, doji kind of candle on the weekly. We had this huge range here. On Friday, I really think that it's probably gonna chop mostly now. And so I think that that's, yeah. So we open a little bit higher, and not really interested in trading this as of the current moment. I think that I will be trading pre-market, post-market, whatever, but I will be trading extended hours, but I think that I will probably only be trading extended hours during the London session and Frankfurt session and stuff like that. So I think it's best to just sit out and wait until like 2 a.m. at least. And I'll try to trade it less, right? Like I'll only trade it if it's like really, really good. But I do genuinely believe that there is money to be made in pre and post market trading. So we just have to see. Okay, that's a huge move at 1 a.m. Interesting. Now we can kind of start looking at this. So I mean, what's happened so far this week? It just opened and kind of grinded lower. Like this is pretty shit price action. I'm not really a fan. I don't really want to be involved in this. Don't really see anything too clean. We do fill in the gap. That's cool. I wonder if there's edge there. I don't know because I haven't studied it, but that is something that one could study. And we go a little higher, take out some highs. That's clean. Good look to short here, but the risk reward is just terrible. Did go lower, back in the middle of the range. Not really interested. This is potentially interesting, you know, you could long this here. It's at the range low. It's at like the previous week's close kind of level. And you could target, you know, the middle of the range. But yeah, let's not. I think overnight it's just probably not that high probability. I think that, yeah, I mean, okay, it wasn't that good of a setup, but still, like, I feel like overnight I feel like we probably need to have like a bias from the hourly in order to be able to take a trade during overnight. Like we want to have like a really clear opinion of what we want to do. I want to long this though, or not long, but I want to mark this out for potential longs. I think that's a good support level. Breaker kind of. This is also an interesting long here. Didn't hit, but you could long potentially around here, stop here, TP here or something, but didn't hit. Okay, so I think it was gonna be 8:30 news, right? Let's see. Anything happen? 8:30? Yeah, nothing major. Oh no, Monday was news free. Never mind. Never mind. We do have this level here. Again, it's post-market or pre-market. It's not super clean. Wasn't really any clean breakdown either. Not really anything. There isn't really like any clean way to trade this, so I think it's totally fine. And now we're about to trade into the open here. So we have the overnight high, we have the overnight low. See, this is kind of clean. This is kind of clean here. Okay, this is interesting. We have the old overnight low, and then we have the hourly support right beneath it. That's quite interesting to me. If you look on the structure, lower high, lower high, lower high, that's pretty clean, but we also made some higher lows here, but now we're breaking lower, but we're kind of in the middle. It's not really too clean. We kind of want to wait. We go a little higher, market opens, trade lower aggressively, not interested in trading, too volatile, too much crazy shit. Okay, aggressive move lower, aggressive move higher. Now we've sort of prodded both sides. And we're coming back up to here. I don't really think that there's much of a trade for me. Just the way I see things, the way I trade, I don't think there's much of a trade here yet. Come above this swing highs, chop a little bit, chop a little bit more. Still very, very volatile. We come into this support. We're kind of in the middle of the range from here to here. We're in the middle. Not really too interested right now. This feels kind of sketchy. And yeah, we do just chop chop away more. I think when you're in the middle of the range, it's just so fucking hard to predict which direction it's gonna go. I think it's best to just not even try. We do go higher. It does seem like higher prices are accepted. I do think that this is probably bullish. We're probably gonna probably this isn't too strong anymore. I'm probably gonna take out the overnight highs. I think decent chance, but I need to get a setup in order to be able to actually long this. So that is a decent setup. I think that you could go ahead and long that with a TP all the way up there. It's also kind of at the hourly level here. If I was to draw that, it's kind of near there. Seems reasonable. Guess another question is this still good? It ran those highs. I'm not so sure. I don't feel confident. Wait, do I? Hold on, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Let's see what is the... No, I don't feel confident. I really don't. It's like the structure is not clear enough. It's simply not clear enough. Joke's on me. Joke's on me. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna actually mark this here and leave it here just so that I remember. That is funny. That is funny. I just thought that maybe we SFP'd this and it would just like sink. But overnight high is a good target. It is a good target for sure. Okay, well, price goes higher. Now it's kind of it's hard for us to get long at this point, you know. It's quite difficult. You could try to be like, oh, I'm gonna long the breakout. I don't know about that. Sideways, 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 up, up, up. I just don't really think that there's much of a trade for me here. You could argue this is like a retest that you can trade. You could argue definitely that you should trade all the way up into like this level, because it's like the first resistance, and as long as it's bullish, it's gonna keep going higher into resistance. But I don't know. Even this, I don't feel too confident in. Like it's technically kind of like a flip, but yeah, nah. Not really interested. It's not really bullish either. It's not really bearish. It's kind of shit. I think I want to focus on this more. Like, why did I not feel confident here? What was it about this that made it feel like such a bad trade? I think it was the fact that like the 10 a.m. candle hadn't closed yet. I thought the 10 a.m. candle might just SFP this high and trade lower. But I mean, if you look on the hourly, like the structure is undeniably bullish, right? The structure is bullish. We didn't hit this, but like we filled in this gap, and the structure is bullish. So I think that this is kind of the same mistake as I made last week, where I just don't respect the trend enough, right? Like I just assume that this market will always mean revert, and it does often mean revert. But I just think that like when it trends, it trends. When it trends, it trends, man. It does often mean revert, but like, you know, often does not mean always. I don't think there's a trade here. I really don't think so. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Yeah, fuck that shit. Okay. So Monday went by with 0 trades taken. One big missed opportunity. Okay. A little bit unfortunate, but such is life. Let's see what happens overnight. It always comes down to the basics, the fundamentals. What is the structure in price action? Here it is fucking bullish. So you go for the long. It's always just the fundamentals. You just need to focus on the fundamentals. Stop trying to be fancy. Just focus on the fundamentals. Tight range, shitty range, not really interested. Okay, Europeans come in, still not interested. It's just not, this is not very inspiring price action. Now we break out here. This is kind of a classic breakout. I kind of like that. I don't trade them, but you know, that kind of looks funny. Let's see, we're at the range high. Don't want a long, also don't want a short. And we're back to the midpoint. And we're back to the midpoint. Okay, is this 8:30? No, this is 7:40, still nothing. There's gonna be some news. I don't think it was like super high impact, but it was still like decent impact. News. Yeah, probably don't wanna. You could argue that you should try to get long here. We deviated range low. Get long here, target list high here. Core retail sales. Maybe retail sales isn't so. It's not so bad. I think we can probably. Well, it's only 17 ticks or 18 ticks top. That's kind of tight, but let's see. Okay, so what's the range? Here's the range. We deviated the range. Target range midpoint. Seems reasonable enough. And chin. Okay. Wow. That's good. Very clean. Very happy with that. Yep. It was very clean. I mean, if you just zoom out, it's like range, deviate midpoint. Yeah. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. And yeah. Cool. Okay. So now we're opening soon. Obviously, we are flat into the open as always. Market opens, trades higher, trades lower. Zoom out. What's the structure? What's the fundamentals? Range. We're near the range midpoint. You can just be zoomed out here, like it doesn't matter. I am not interested until it's like doing something interesting. And it's not doing anything interesting. Now it's doing something interesting. Okay, we deviated range high. But this is not a break lower. It could very much so just keep going. At this point, I think you know, we've ran into this support, into this resistance, but we've been ranging right before the resistance, which is kind of bullish because I feel like when it ranges ahead of resistance, it usually just sends it afterwards. Okay. Alrighty. Come back into the range. This is really volatile. Like technically you would probably want to short this, but it's so volatile, I'm not quite. Hold on. Wait, I forgot to mark out overnight high and low. Hold on. What's the overnight high? it's this. And what's the overnight low? It's this. It's the news candle. When did overnight trading start? There. It's also an SFB, kind of, technically, whatever, of this swing high. Ooh. Is this? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. This might not be particularly like high win rate, but it also doesn't need to win that often. I do think it is completely valid. I think it's a good range. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is like this is the range, right? It doesn't really make that much sense to target past the range midpoint, given how bullish we are. You know what? I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull it. I think we are overall too bullish. Yeah, and I don't think you actually can target here. I think it's disingenuous. I think it's cope. I think you would have to target range midpoint, and I don't like it. Yeah, nice, perfect. Okay. Yeah, so that was an instance where I looked at the structure in price action, and I just determined like, okay, like focus on the fundamentals instead of having your own opinion, like, oh, we're gonna fucking go lower, bro. Instead of being like that, just be like, hey, look, like it's a range. We deviated low, we're going higher. The structure is bullish. Like you can't target this low. The risk to reward just isn't there. And yeah, don't want to long, don't want to short. It's honestly just kind of shit. Just kind of shit. We go beneath that little swing low. Some more shit happens. You could argue that this is like a decent long because it led to such a big move. Honestly, I would agree. I would almost consider this like a missed long by me. Um, it's not really near like the macro range low, but within the current day's trading, like if you were to long, let's say, well, actually your stop would have to be kind of. It's not that good. It's okay, but it's not that good. Yeah, you could have targeted like to fill in this gap or something. It's just like a tiny little pussy trade, but that's fine. And I mean, this is just shit, right? Like this, I shouldn't have to say that this is shit. This is shit. You could argue maybe this is a decent long, but I don't like it that much. This is shit. Everything is shit about this. I mean, look at this. This is so stupid. Yeah, I don't like it. Good thing I didn't take it. And I do wonder if we go for the lows, but I mean, it looks like shit. There's not much to do when the market looks like shit. You just say like it is what it is. Now it's like high, lower, high, lower, high. It's like you could probably target the lows at this point. Like maybe you could have shorted here, stop here, just like tiny little like scalp lower. And we just equal the lows, so that's fine. I mean, I guess technically it hit, but like, meh. Since we didn't take out the lows, I don't want to go longing this yet. You could argue that it's a long, but we didn't yet take out the overnight lows. We just equaled them. That doesn't really feel like it's enough. You know, the whole idea with taking out lows is that you trigger the stops that are one tick past it. Okay, so now we do. Ooh, that's a little bit clean, don't you think? I don't think I would long here. I think that's disingenuous, but I think. Wait, I should be doing. I think this is more than fine. You could perhaps even be like, oh look, range. You should go towards midpoint. I'm gonna do it. I think it's fine. I think it's reasonable. Would have hit there. And perhaps I should have. Wait, should I be closing? Should I be closing this? Wait, should I be? No, I shouldn't. I'm just scared. This is a real piece of shit. I think we had a little inside bar even. And now it's 50 and it's going past the low. Let's just let it play out. We'll see what happens. Okay, we did get stopped out. So it would have worked for here. I just got too greedy. I'm not really sure how much there is to say about that. I mean, you could argue like, okay, it's too greedy because this is like a strong move away or from whatever. This is like a supply zone or something. It's I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I'm still happy with the entry, of course, but maybe not the best. And yeah, they're just. I mean, this was a shit day. Overall, this was just a shit day. Okay, let's see the next day. You could have gone for this scalp here. I didn't do it, but yeah, I could have done that. But except for that, like it was just really bad. Honestly, this day sucked ass. Still up because of this. Really clean, nice trade there, but yeah. I was thinking about closing this. I wonder if I should have closed this. Like when it was like here, it just kind of feels like it should be going to the midpoint, and if it doesn't, then it's like, I don't know. Anyways, look at the structure on the overlay. Always look at the fundamentals. Bullish, obviously. We have a little breaker here. Now we're tapping into the breaker right now. You can see what's happening. Not really interested in trading this, but yeah. It's kind of clean. I kind of don't hate this, you know. I kind of don't hate longing here. I'm not gonna do it yet. It's a little too, illiquid for me. But it's like if you look here, well, maybe not so bad. Maybe we want to see more. We want to see more proof. Yeah. Yeah, not really enough yet. It looked almost kind of clean, but it's not that clean when it's coming back. I don't love it. Yeah, I think when you're trading like the after hours, like or the over when you're trading ETH, I think you want to have really, really, really obvious like logic for what you're doing. I don't think you necessarily want to like. I think you just have to have higher standards for the trades that you take because the price action just is less predictable. It is more illiquid, random bullshit can happen easier. We make a lower low. Let's see how it closes. It closes as a bullish SFP. That's interesting. Okay, that was CPI. Wednesday, not CPI, it was NFP because NFP on a Wednesday, that makes sense, right? Okay, so what happened? So we were bullish and we did get the SFP. Makes sense not to take a trade before NFP. I totally remembered that it was NFP, I promise. And yeah, you could argue that you could long the retest here. I think that's fine, probably, but I don't. That's not really the kind of trade that I take, right? It's not really what I do, but I mean, you probably could do it. Probably would be fine. Just looking at what overnight high and low is. We're probably not touching the overnight low at this point. It's like you could long this here, 30 tick stop, 50 tick TP, and it might be reasonable. But I'm not really interested. Okay, market finally opens. We went higher. Great. We're at resistance, but it doesn't seem particularly strong at this point. Okay, we open, we trade higher, we trade lower, rejected the high prices, accepting the low prices kind of a little bit more. if we get some kind of entry, you could perhaps look to short, but nah, not really. We're already like relatively close to the range midpoint anyways. No, we're not that close. Maybe you could still, let's see. Okay, I certainly would not have gone shorting there, so let's just see what happens. This is kind of interesting here. You could almost look to like short. Hold on. Let me go high to low. Where do we have like a gap? We have a gap here. Would this make some sense? Let me just theorize a little bit here. No, I don't love it. I don't love it. It feels, well, well. Well. This is like the week of me missing trades because I was too like I took too many trades last week, and so now I'm scared to trade, right? Okay, well, that's kind of funny. That is funny. That is legitimately pretty funny. And I said we weren't gonna go to overnight lows. We actually just fucking nuked straight to overnight lows. That is interesting. I really didn't expect us to just nuke past this. That's very interesting. I don't know if there's necessarily any like realistic way to see that coming. You know, I feel like, I mean, it's a small sample, but I feel like this market trends more than I've previously given it credit for. Like, I feel like I used to think like this market is always mean reverting. It always mean reverts. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I really don't. Here I do think it's reasonable to go for like a mean revert kind of setup. Because we hit the hourly level and you know, we start making higher lows here, and we have so much empty space to fill in here. I don't really like it when it touches it multiple times. Okay, well, at least we can move the stop now. That feels good. Man, I wonder, do I just like, do I close? No, I don't. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's a clean trade. I like that. That feels, see, this is the mean reversion type shit I was talking about, you know? That feels like the ES to me. That's the ES I know. You know what I mean? That's my ES. Hashtag not my ES. Now we're just in the middle of the range, not really interested. We've kind of created a range of our own here, little tiny range. Oh yeah, it's interesting to note as well that we did have an inside bar here at 11. Let's see, so 11 was an inside bar, then we were at the low here. There wasn't really a way to get on. Maybe, perhaps there was a way to get on. Hold on, did we equal? Oh, we equaled the lows. We didn't even tap them. Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's not as clean then. Did we tap them? No, nope. Yeah, we're still in the middle of the range. I don't really think there's too much of an edge here. Yeah, I wouldn't trade anymore. I wouldn't trade anymore today. This is just whatever. Come on. All right, that was it for the day. Wednesday. I mean, successful day. I should have trusted myself here. I sort of. I mean, obviously the open is very volatile, but I feel like I'm maybe kind of getting a sense of like, okay, like we go higher aggressively, we go lower aggressively, we reject one side, we accept the other side. I feel like maybe I'm kind of starting to wrap my head around it, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, like it helps when you have the SFP of the high. that helps as well, make you bearish. Okay. Time for Thursday. This is kind of interesting. You know, we have this range. If you look just, hold on, we can delete some old shit. We can look on the daily as well. Yesterday, massive fucking Darth Maul day. But if you look on the just on the hourly or on the 1 minute, you know, you see this chopperoni. Get above, maybe get back below, maybe. Maybe. Mayhaps. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we stick below. Bunch of volatility coming in. I'm sure somebody shorted this, somebody that knows what they're doing, but I don't know if I'm confident enough to do that. It's also like, where do you target? Because this is strong support, this is support. Like, can you target the range midpoint? That feels delusional to me. Maybe we need to get in on a pullback now. Hold on, I kind of like that. I actually kind of like that idea. You see what I mean? Let's wait for just a little bit more. Like, I want to see price be accepted here. I don't want to see it V reverse. If it V reverses, that's a V reversal. Yeah, that's a V reversal. Boom, boom. Don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like that. Told you. Told you. Okay. Yeah, we're no longer in this range. This seems quite bullish. Well, at least in the short term. But there isn't a trade setup here, so we have to wait. And we chop. And we actually do go lower, but we're still in this sort of intermediate range here. There isn't like any good level to long here. Because sometimes you can long, like, you can just long right away. You can just have a limit order at the range low. If you look on the, if you just zoom out, you know, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. We run these lows, but then it's a low, then it's a higher low. This does seem pretty bullish, doesn't it? Don't you think? If you look on the volume profile, you can see there's this big gap until like roughly here. Let's see if we can get long. Let's see. Don't really want to get long here. It's not really enough. Not really enough. Now it's starting to look a little better. Still, it's too crazy. We just have to wait and see if we see something clean. Man, I want to long this. Hold on. What's the RR? This is really fucking shitty entry. That's like the worst entry of all time. That is quite possibly the worst entry of all time. Like, imagine if you get it here. Like, that's decent, but come on. I really want to do this. Hold on. Should I do this? I'm gonna do this. Let's see. If I was trading this in real life, I'd probably put on like a micro contract or something. It just feels pretty bullish, and there is a gap to fill in here. It's not that clean of a gap, but it's a gap nonetheless. Holy, okay. Am I even making money in post-market, even when I'm trying to take good trades? Am I making money? How did I do How did I do? I did make money here. I've traded so little this week compared to last week. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I still feel like it's pretty good, to be honest. I still feel it's pretty good. Of course, no, we wanna see this thing go lower, because if it goes higher, then that hurts a lot more than if it, just shits itself. But we could still potentially get in if it does go higher, but we'll see. Okay, it doesn't look so good. Does not quite look so good. It's just compressing, compressing, compressing. But it is making higher lows. Do we long again? No, I feel like the fact that we got stopped out once is already enough evidence that this is not as bullish as I thought it was. And good decision, good fucking decision. You can see it's kind of falling over here. I mean, if you look on the daily. Yeah. Wait, oh yeah, I forgot we haven't even started. We haven't even started the actual trading yet. I've just been thinking so much about the post market. Now I need to refresh myself so that we have news coming in soon, so I wouldn't trade. Well, we didn't quite hit there, but we got pretty close. That wasn't like an objective target anyways. Okay, so obviously we have an uptrend during the overnight trading. That's the overnight low, this is the overnight high. And let's see what happens when the market opens. We open in the middle of the shitty range. We have some crazy shit happening. Aggressive move higher. Let's see if it sticks. Okay, it's not. I don't think that I can get in here. I think you're delusional if you're like, oh, I would short the SFP. Like, no, bro. Yeah, this is not. I'm not a fan. It does seem like lower prices are being accepted. See, here's something that I'm thinking. Right? It's like, okay, well, we're going right into support, so I'm not thinking anything. Actually, never mind. Never fucking mind. I was just thinking, like, if there's no support here, like, what are the odds that it just trends to the overnight lows? You know what I mean? Like, previously I would have never expected that, but now, like, it's been so trendy. It's been so freaking trendy. Like, what happens if you, like, freaking short here, stop here, target the overnight low? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Good thing we didn't do that. Yeah, but there's support here, so obviously I wouldn't do that. Making lower highs and lower lows at the support. I wonder, do we short this? No, because it's still in support. Good thing. So we do want a long here. This is pretty bread and butter. We hit hourly support and we long back into the range. Yikes. Fuck me, dude. Jesus Christ, look at this volatility. We got a reaction, but we did not get a big enough reaction. That's similar to what happened earlier. That's what happened here. We got a reaction, but it just was not big enough. And we do go to overnight lows. I wonder about that. I wonder about, like, after such a highly volatile day, do we just chop around all day? Does that mean that overnight high and low are both likely to be taken? Does that mean that we need to be, like, more aware of that? I don't know. I truly have no idea. Yeah, and I mean, at this point I wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, you could argue that I should manage this trade somehow, move my stop a little higher. I think that's a reasonable idea. just sell off all day. I mean, I do wonder, like, this thing trends so much more than I thought it would, right? At what point do we just accept that, hey, this fucker trends, and we just like take a short like this, and we just go for like a 3-1 or something? Like, at what point is this just plus EV? We hit not quite this hourly support here, but you know, it's not really clean enough for me to take as a setup, but you know, range, 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 tight range. Okay, a little bit lower into support. Alert, alert, support has been hit. If we get a nice little deviation, I think we can probably go for maybe this high, maybe even higher. I don't know. I mean, I think we can probably honestly go for quite a bit higher. Like, what is this? Where is this? This is there. That's also there. Maybe you could go for at least this if you get a deviation here. That's not clean enough for me. Actually, is it? Mm, no. No. This is. Oh, I'm supposed to. I keep forgetting to do that thing. Mm. Do we really want to get long when it misses the entry by this much and then comes back? I don't think so. I don't think we do. We didn't have like an inside bar or anything, you know. Again, the entry is kind of subjective, you know. We do take out these highs, but not higher. You know, I think I might be getting too greedy. I think I might be getting too greedy. If you look at this to here, it works. It works well. And if you look at, you know, this to here, it works. And like, this is a strong supply zone. Like, where are we trying to short past that? Same exact thing here. If you look at this to here, it works. If you look at to here, it doesn't work. I think I might just be too greedy with my mean reversion setups when it isn't like a clean enough range. Especially if it's like against the trend. Yeah. It's too late in the day, I probably wouldn't trade anymore. Alright. Man, I've traded so much less this week than the previous week. And I think I'm down. I'm pretty sure that I'm down, actually. I mean, I've had a couple of good trades, so maybe, but it's like I've missed multiple good opportunities. Let's see what Friday's like. Friday's gonna be good, I know it. So far, clean range, post-market. We like saying that. That feels correct. That feels tidy. Feels like that's the way it should be, you know. I don't really love it when it moves a lot, as it's doing right now. Not much of an edge here, not much of a setup. Don't really care. Still don't care. Still don't care. Honestly, this is kind of shit. No, just yeah, meh. I feel like I'm dissociating. Like meh. Too much price action. Too much price action for one day. But I'm learning. You know, I feel like I'm making the same mistakes over and over, which is kind of a good sign because it's like I can just write them down and drill them and really make sure that I don't make those same mistakes again. It would be much harder to improve if I made different mistakes every time. You could definitely look. I mean, this is not even overnight low, but you could definitely look to go long here. But it just, if you look at the candles, it doesn't look very good, right? Like there isn't like a clear entry candle. Soon we have CPI, so obviously we are staying the fuck out of the market ahead of CPI. Oh look, range low, clean setup. Not taking that shit ahead of CPI, I'll tell you. Okay, CPI comes in, massive move higher, but it's really a massive move, you know, back into the middle of the range. Okay, let's see what we have. Market opening soon. Have the CPI candle. The CPI candle kind of becomes its own range. You know, we have some potential setups around it. Market opens, we're in the range. Don't care. Okay. Aggressively move lower. Get bought up here and then immediately reject hard. But we go into the overnight range. Now we have to look on the daily again. Okay, wait, oh, I probably have something that I should save there. Nothing there. We do have support here, and it's pretty decent support, so I think that we're gonna wanna mark that shit out. And let's see. Obviously, when it's this volatile, I mean, we just, yeah. No trade. No trade. No trade. You could argue, honestly, hold on, is this scale 1 to 10? How dumb is this? How dumb is this? Is this dumb or is this smart? Eh, more chop. Did I say it was gonna be a good day? I was fucking wrong. Yeah, we took the low, we took the high, and there was nothing that we could do about it. Now we're going higher. We don't really have any like super clear resistance. But it's also not really that clean. Like I wouldn't be like breakout longing here. Yeah. This is actually technically a supply zone. I didn't even realize, but it is there. I think we can short here. And target sort of the midpoint. I think it's reasonable. I mean, it kind of depends on how much time price spends here and stuff like that. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't like the fact that it's like we're reversing in. It feels strong. Am I supposed to be able to long here? I don't think so. I don't think so. Crazy action all over the place. Maybe you could long the breaker. Nah, I wouldn't long the breaker. I mean, okay, look. We open, we make a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Can we actually long here? Let's try the breakout. Let's just try. Let's see what happens. Science experiment. That's not great. Well, it's not terrible. I like longing pullbacks much more. This feels very unpredictable and random. But it's still making, like, look at this, guys, look at this, come on. Come on. Come the fuck on. I mean, come on, dude. Oh my god, we got absolutely memed on. Did I like... Wait, hold on. I mean, it's supposed to be at the level, I just wasn't like that precise. Okay, we didn't hit it anyways, okay, doesn't matter. Good. I was like... I was like, if we missed because I was sloppy... See, this is a decent entry here, right? See this, like it's like down over, under, some would say. Okay, the risk reward fucking sucks ass, but you know. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, come on. Honestly, I almost certainly would have just emotionally closed the trade somewhere in here. Almost certainly. I mean, this is, come on. Well, it is what it is. That's actually pretty unfortunate. I think I wonder if like I should be managing my trades more aggressively. Like if I could, like imagine if I trailed my stop to here. Imagine if I did that. Because if you think about like I could have trailed my stop to here. A lot of these trades where it goes in my direction but not as far as I thought. Like I could have trailed my stop to here, you know. I think perhaps I need to be trailing my stop more. I'm not really doing it that much, but I think I would probably benefit from it. If anything, if nothing else, at least it makes it easier to trade. Because you just get out of trades faster, you know? And so like it's good to get out of trades fast. If you look for example at this, you know, we made a low, we made an equal low. Is this equal? Hold on. 54.50, 54.50. We made a low, we made an equal low, so you could have trailed, you could have trailed, you could have trailed, and then we got out, right? So it's like, because I mean the obvious argument against trailing our stop is what if you get stopped out early? But do I get stopped out early? Do I? Because I feel like when it's a really good trade, could have trailed, could have trailed. Well, maybe I wouldn't trail to here, but could have trailed the stop to here. I feel like when it is a legitimately good trade, it goes fast. So it's kind of like you could have trailed. You know what? I think I'm gonna start trailing my stops. I think that's probably potentially helpful, you know. And we get stopped out, and that is the end of the week. You know what's funny is I feel like I traded much better because I was more disciplined. But I think because I missed these really good opportunities due to just being a pussy, I think that I actually lost money. I'm almost certain that I actually lost money, even though I feel like I traded better, which is kind of funny. But yeah. But yeah, I mean that's that for the week. Obviously, we're not trading anymore at this point. You know, I kind of wonder like this is range low. This is pretty clean, but it's also like where do you target? Well, okay, let's just theorize about this. Let's say we enter here, and we TP there. Obviously, we can't just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna totally take out, this super strong resistance. We can't say that. But if we're like, hey, we're just gonna make a new high after this candle, right? We're just gonna make a new high. That's still 1.4R, And again, you could have trailed. You could trail your stop there if you wanted to. I'm terrified to see the results. We're up. We're up. We're up. Holy fuck, we're up. We are up with 2 wins. We're up with 2 wins. What a terrible trade. Fine trade, I think, but just targeted too far. Wait. Yeah, no, it would have taken this swing. I mean, this was fine as well, but it was just terrible. Like, the price action was terrible. Like, it made me feel bad. Is what I meant. This I don't think was that good, really. I mean, whenever I seem to long breakouts, it seems to go to shit, right? Especially like, okay, probably because there wasn't like that clear of a bias. Like, yeah, there's some higher lows, but like, come on, like it's also flat here. Like, it's not that good. This was classic. This is just absolute classic right here. This is that shit that we love. We got the support. We got the 1 minute. This was a missed entry. This was also good, but I just targeted too far. I mean, this is strong resistance. What are we doing here? Like, look at this candle. Look at this candle. Price comes up, it quickly rejects, it rejects hard, and price spends a long time away from the level. When we retest, like that could honestly, I could see a world in the future where I actually find a short there. Honestly, I could. By 10th of Feb at 14, what did it look like? 10th of Feb at 14, it's kind of a little retest. Honestly, I could find a world. I could see a world where I short that. Yeah, this was good as well. And I missed this. Okay, I feel like now that I'm looking back at it, I feel like I probably didn't trade that well, but I definitely need to start managing my shit. I really think that I need to start managing my shit. I think it's gonna help. I think it's gonna, on occasion, I will get stopped out early, but like if you can prevent this, if you can prevent sitting in a trade for 4 hours and losing 1 hour when it comes 1 tick from your TP, oh my god. If you can prevent this, then it's worth occasionally. It's worth occasionally, getting fucked.